Hello, this is Ian Henry. Welcome to the September edition of the SMMT's European Car and Light Commercial Vehicle Production Outlook. First of all, a quick look at last year, 2013, where production, including Russia, was just over 18.6 million, a 2.3% rise over 2012. Taking Russia out of the equation, European production was about 17.4 million, a rise of 1.7%. European production rose last year on the back of strong UK demand, region-wide recovery starting, strong premium export brand exports beyond Europe, and the start of production of several new models. There was also some restructuring with plant closures at Ford Southampton and PSA Alnay. Ford's Genk plant is closing this year, as will Opel's Bochum plant soon. There's been short-term work at many French and Italian plants, but at the same time we've had a rise in production at several recently opened or expanded plants, especially at Audi and Mercedes in Hungary and the Renault Dacia plant in Morocco, which is a core part of Renault's European network. There's also been rising new sales across the EU, which started in September last year and have continued ever since. We've now had 12 months of continued rising sales in the EU. Looking at the UK in 2013 and 14, we've seen a largely positive story throughout both years, with strong retail demand and strong consumer confidence despite economic uncertainty. Last year production was 1.57 million cars and LCVs, a rise of just over 1% over 2012. There was strong growth at Toyota and at Jaguar Land Rover. Last year there was a decline for the Mini and Qashqai models ahead of the start of production of new models there. Production also fell at Honda, GM and Ford of Southampton also closed. This year we project UK production to about 1.7 million, with output boosted by full year production of both the Mini and the Qashqai, plus the start of production of the Discovery Sport, which is the replacement for the Freelander. Growth, however, in UK production is tempered somewhat by the continued slowdown at Honda and the lower end-of-life volumes expected for Astra and Avensis. Looking at Europe as a whole for 2014, we've seen a recovery across the region throughout the year, with pent-up demand returning in most markets. Demand has also been boosted by several new model launches, and we see the medium-term production outlook across the region as broadly positive. For the last 12 months, we've seen year-on-year rises in EU registrations. Including Russia, 2014 production should be just over 20 million, with strong growth in the years ahead. Russian production is actually lower than we predicted before, largely due to the current political and economic uncertainty. Taking Russia out of the equation, 2014 production should be about 18.66 million, with growth spread widely, including in the Czech Republic, France, Germany, Hungary, Spain, Turkey and the UK. Also, returning to Russia, in the long term we expect exports from EU markets to Russia actually to be replaced by increased Russian production. There's been some further restructuring and realignment amongst the VMs. 2014 started with Fiat taking full control of Chrysler and a new strategy announcement for the group in May. PSA has continued to cut jobs, and PSA and Renault have continued to shift small car production eastwards, although Renault will maintain domestic production volumes with increased van production, including for other marques, including Fiat and Mercedes. Looking at the production outlook beyond 2014, including Russia, we think volumes should reach about 22.2 million in 2016 and over 24 million by 2018. Excluding Russia, core European production is projected at 19.3 million in 2015, 20.1 million in 2016, 21 million in 2017 and 21.5 million in 2018. Germany will remain the powerhouse of European production, with production approaching 6 million units a year. Germany, or more specifically Ford of Germany, has retained Fiesta production. There has been some threat that this could go to Romania, and more Audi Q models could also be made in Germany, further boosting German production. UK car production now exceeds that of France, although France produces many more vans than does the UK. This pattern will continue. And the role of the vehicle manufacturers' core factories in Germany and recent significant investment commitments there means that Spain will likely remain the second-ranked European producing country in the medium term. Spanish production is likely to exceed 2.5 million units a year consistently from 2016 onwards. Following on from the previous commentary, this chart shows European production for all countries, including Russia, through to 2019, and shows how by 2018, for example, we expect production to hit 24 million across the region. This chart shows production outlook excluding Russia. Clearly the numbers are slightly lower. What it also shows is that by 2016 we expect European production to be back to what we call normal volumes, or i.e. 20 million units a year, assuming there's been no collapse in either the major home or export markets. This chart shows the production volumes in the major European producing countries, including Germany, which is well ahead of all the other markets. Production in Germany clearly fluctuates around the 6 million units level throughout this period, and is well ahead, in fact more than double the production volumes of other major markets. Following on from the previous chart, a few comments. The UK and France will battle it out for third place behind Germany in the lead and Spain in second place. Germany's leadership position is clear, will consistently produce close to 6 million units a year and should actually exceed that level by the end of the period that we cover. Within the EU, Spain is and will remain the second largest vehicle producing country. Spain has a national objective to reach 3 million vehicles a year, and that includes heavy trucks, although we think that is probably slightly optimistic. UK car production will continue to exceed that of France as France focuses more on light commercial vehicle production. The exact position of the UK and France relative to one another will be determined by new model timings, in particular from Jaguar and Land Rover in the UK, and the degree to which Renault and PSA can actually meet the production targets which have been set down in these companies' labour agreements, especially given the eastward shift to small car production by both car companies. Turkey will rise to about 1.4 million through the period, and this reflects expansion at Tofaş, the Fiat partner in Turkey, and also the concentration of Ford van production in Turkey. Ford has recently opened a new small LCV plant in the country. Czech production will remain at over 1.2 million, and Slovakia should exceed 1 million units a year shortly. And actually now on the back of rising Alfa, light commercial vehicle and small SUV production, Italy may well actually climb back to over 1 million units a year within the period that we analyse. What does all this mean for UK suppliers in particular? Well, we've got rising UK production, and that should mean significant potential for UK suppliers to win new business. In the report which accompanies this presentation, there are several examples cited of new investments that have taken place in the UK, and here we list some of the new sourcing opportunities. The new IQ range from JLR, the general widening of the JLR range, expansion at Nissan, expansion at Mini, the fact that GM will have extra shifts at Luton next year, for example, and various other new opportunities that are emerging. The Automotive Investment Organisation, part of BIS, has secured over 80 automotive projects in the first year of operation, in turn creating or securing more than 5,000 jobs. Many more will follow. Thank you very much for listening. Details of how to access the latest Production Outlook report are shown on the screen. Until next time, goodbye.